Well, yesterday we did the lamination for the carbon fiber side covers. That worked out great. We've let it dry overnight, and I think right now it should be ready to sand, but if it isn't, we'll let it dry another day and work on some other project. And whenever I'm buffing out paint, I always like to let it dry an extra day or two. And with the epoxy, now I'm not really familiar, this is only the second part I've done with the 107, the West resin with the clear hardener, but well, it's 207. Do I know what the hell I'm talking about? Maybe I should edit that out. I don't think so. Anyway, let's go see if that part's ready to sand. This is what I like about having all these renderings, and this is on the computer. I got to see John took one of the pictures and made the wheels gold. How cool is that? Now I can get a little look at what this will look like when the wheels are gold and all the arrowheads are painted on. Boy, does that make it easy. Always doing these photo shoots and everything, you think you're wasting time, but in the end, it's a win-win. And just while I'm at the computer, I'm trying to look at some pictures. These are of Scott's. Scott's going to try to do some work on his 850, and I looked at all his little concepts, and this is the one I like best. Now, one quick tip before I get started today, I thought I'd mention this. I always have a bucket full of all waxes and polishes and whatever, and I always monitor the temperature when it's going to be below freezing in the garage, and today it went down to 24. All of these products that I keep in a polishing bag, and even the polish, it does it no real good to leave it in the freezing cold. And what I've noticed when I've left it in the cold over the winter, I always thought, oh, it'd be more convenient. First off, when it's below freezing, you can't spray it anyway. And number two, then I'd go to wax it in the spring. It just didn't seem like, you shake it up, but it's not the same. Then, of course, you read on the label, do not allow it to freeze. Some of the products, anyway. But anyway, even the flits, I don't think you're doing it a favor by leaving it in the trunk of your car or whatever. It's always good when it goes below freezing, and we are officially below freezing now, to have this product. And I always like keeping everything in an old laundry basket. It's very easy and convenient for me. When I'm going to go polish the car, I got it all in one lump. It's a good tip. So what has happened is our parts have dried overnight under a heating vent. Ooh, they feel nice. The next step on this, and because of the temperature, I'm going to try this today to get these all sanded out and ready for clear, but if it doesn't come up above 24 degrees, we'll wait till it's above freezing to do the clear. But I can get them all prepped up today. Okay, now the next step on this is I'm going to take all the clamps off. See, this is what I wanted, the tip I wanted to leave. This is, all these little edges are razor blades. So now I want to be real careful trimming this off. Some of this I can trim with scissors. Some of it I have to use a jigsaw. Then in the end I'll take the Dremel tool and get a nice even edge. But before I do anything, step one is to get rid of all these razor blades, and they are everywhere. And the first time you get cut with one, you realize, oh, I should have listened to Wendy. In fact, I should have listened to him. What am I talking about? But that is the whole thing. It looks like this is going to be real nice. It's going to have to obviously all be sanded out. But if we can get this all prepped up for the clear today, then when it does go above freezing, we'll be able to shoot clear. And then maybe we can even do the same thing. Get Turbo Steve's tank. If he gets the decal, he's still waiting for one of the decals. So the first step is to break it off. You just break the wood, and we'll re-glue it back when it's time to shoot clear. I don't know if that's going to serve any purpose having a handle there. The clamps we can just pull off. We don't even care about them. They're being sacrificed to this part. Okay, they go off. The big clamps sometimes take a little time, but they eventually all go off. And sometimes you can use them over and over. You can just bend them up. And these parts, because Bondo, I always save them, of course, these Bondo things, and boy, that made a perfect little indentation. These epoxy Bondo obviously doesn't stick to it, so that's to your advantage. So now I want to see how much of this I can trim with scissors. See where it's real thin, I can just take an old pair of scissors. What that does is it then I get rid of a lot of the razor blades. And believe me, this is like handling a cactus right now, a porcupine, or whatever. I don't know. I'm not sure what. But as soon as I get the edges all trimmed, then I'll be able to do the sanding. Now, there's always some parts of this that are very thin that you can just trim with these just old surgical scissors, and they're not particularly sharp. But I can get this almost up to the edge at a lot of the spots. The thing, because this is only one layer of carbon thick. If this were 4 or 5 layers, I'd have to use a Dremel tool. But I can get the whole edge of the part, and then what it turns, I have a surface that's a lot less. This is like razor blades. This is like a butter knife. So that just makes it a little more convenient to do this. Got a final little edging on everything here. I'm going to have to just do with a Dremel tool. I'm going to go outside and do that so I don't make a lot of dust inside the shop. Now in this case, the wind is my friend because it's blowing all the dust away. So what I originally wanted to do, the idea of this whole part was, one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to get it up into where it was carbon fibered, and maybe not with the final finish, but I wanted to be able to go out and look at how this would look in carbon fiber, or would I like it better painted black, shiny gloss black. Since the theme of this bike is to be a very high gloss, high finish black, I don't know. I'm sanding this out with 400 now just to get a little look at what it might look like. And then I have to make a decision, because if I'm going to paint it, I'm going to have to prime it and do, well, either way, there's a lot more wet sanding to do, but so far so good. That little power sander worked great. Boy, I find more uses for that every time I do a job. And it may be that I like it better. I even thought of painting it gold, but I know that's over the top. But I think what'll happen is, once this is painted, or once it's in, I can see it in real life in carbon fiber, and then make a decision if I like it or not. And that's going to be something I might want to sleep on overnight, get Karen to look at, take some pictures, etc., etc., etc. But it's so cold out there right now. Now after just popping the part out on the motorcycle and having Karen come out and look at it, and I said, what do you think is going to look better, if this looks like a carbon fibery weave or will be nice shiny black? And she voted for shiny black, made it an easy decision. So the next step on this is to do some more wet sanding and get a coat of primer on it. And sometimes what's always a good idea, and I use it all the time, is if I can't make a decision and I'm on the fence, and I really thought this was going to look different, but Karen brought up a good point, that we're trying to make as much of this bike shiny black as possible, and right in the middle of it is going to be a part that doesn't match anything. So maybe I let that one slip by, but it's no big deal. If we actually have enough time, I'll get this part in primer today, and we'll have another day to work on the twin to it, the other part. Now, luckily for us, it warmed up enough that I think the primer will dry just fine on there. I'll try to get 2 coats of primer on, 20 minutes apart, and that is, once I tack rag it down, that is ready. And I think Karen really hit the nail on the head when she said, you're trying to get as much shiny high gloss black on this project as possible. And now that I think about it, I know she's right. Okay, so what we're going to try to do with this, because it's not a metal part, is get some sealer on there. 2 coats, roughly 20 minutes apart. And it's got to have the word sealer in there, not just primer. So the primer is drying up under the heating vent. We won't even try to work on that till tomorrow. And I guess what I should try to do is get this part in shiny black, just so I can make sure I really like it. Because once I paint it, to take the paint off would be a big, well, it wouldn't be easy. Anyway, so I've made that decision. That's one less decision to make, and hope you enjoyed the video today, and thanks for watching.